Well, it looks like Manny Pacquiao has to deal with his loss to Jeff Horn. The WBO rescored the fight with 5 new judges, and they determined Jeff Horn is the rightful winner. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Patreon patrons, the super chats, the donations. We working. And also shout out to Yahoo Sports, link in the description. Now, I heard about this a few days ago. The WBO was requested that they reanalyze Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn outcome. The fight took place recently on ESPN, and there were some varying opinions on who won the fight. Me, myself, I had Pacquiao winning. I've never went back to watch it again because I'm mad busy and I got a lot of different stuff I'm working on. So I haven't watched it again. And I know some of those rounds were swing rounds. And I also told you, even though I had Pacquiao winning, he made a star out of Jeff Horn because Jeff Horn was able to show his resilience, his durability, his grit, his power. And Pacquiao didn't have a good game plan. However, like you see in the title, the WBO, they took 5 independent judges, rewatched the fight solo, and then they all rescored it. And I'm going to read a quote. Upon the analysis, the findings stated that Pacquiao won the 3rd, the 8th, and the 9th round by 100%, meaning those rounds, 3rd, 8, and 9, were all given to Pacquiao by all 5 judges. The 5th round was won by 80% of the people, so some people had that was a swing round. And the 11th round by 60%. That's what the WBO said in a statement. The findings also showed that Jeff Horn won the 1st round, 6th round, and the 12th round by 100%. Rounds 2nd, 4th, and 7th were by 80%. So again, some of those close rounds were split. By 80%, still pretty high out of 5 people. And then the 10th round by 60%. From the results, it can be established that Pacquiao won 5 rounds while Jeff Horn won 7. The next step of the analysis was to combine the independent judges with the bout judges to find the percent agreement by round. So the WBO, in their research, they had 5 judges that weren't part of the initial 3, and then they combined. So that's a total of 8 judges, and then they kind of averaged it out, it sounds like. Upon doing this analysis, the findings of the judges stated that Pacquiao won the 3rd and the 9th by 100%. The 8th round was won by 87.5%. No rounds were won by 75%. The 5th round, 62.5%. And the 10th and 11th were even rounds. On the other hand, the judges' finding stated that Horn won the 1st, 6th, and 12th rounds by 100%. So those are rounds that everybody gave to Jeff Horn. By 87.5%, he won the 4th and 7th. The 2nd was won by 75%, and so forth. Again, you guys you get the gist of it. You can go to Yahoo Sports for the breakdown. So that's pretty much basically what we need to know from it. And my thoughts are simple. I thought it was dumb to even try to petition the WBO to, what are they going to do? They're going to, the referee in charge, the 3 judges, the fight played out how it did. So if you didn't like the referee not warning for headbutts or whatever you think illegal tactics, it's done. It's already too late. The 3 judges ruled their scorecard, and it's just dumb because you look at Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez, the first fight, one judge incorrectly didn't give Pacquiao credit for a knockdown, so he should have actually won that fight, but they scored it a draw. So if a situation like that didn't get reversed, then I definitely don't see a competitive fight like this where people do feel Jeff Horn won. I didn't see it being reversed. I understand the Guillermo El Chicao Rigondeaux situation. It was, oh, after the bell, do we want to change this knockout to a no contest? That makes a little bit more sense. I think, whatever, they were both swinging outside of that, but whatever. That has at least a likelihood, and they actually overturned it and then reversed it. This is just like football. If you watch the NFL, if the referees rule a first down or a touchdown, then you have to have concise evidence. So if the opposing team was like, that wasn't a touchdown, you have to have specific evidence of foul play or incorrect judgment or whatever. And for a fight like Pacquiao Horn, it was what it was, and it's very hard to prove that. A lot of people, I told you guys, y'all use this, it's like comfort food. You know, when people, like women or men even maybe, go through bad breakups and they eat the comfort foods and bonbons and cheesecake and fattening foods because they're trying to get over a rough patch. That's what a lot of boxing fans do. They use these terms like robbery as comfort foods to make them feel better. I had Pacquiao winning, but again, I'm open to watch it again, and I know some of them were swing rounds, so it's not, I don't know, it's not really a robbery if you really think about it. And I usually don't call close fights robberies. So that's just what it is. And like I did a stream immediately after, and I said, hey, I thought Pacquiao won, and I was like, this is crazy. But the more I started thinking about some of them rounds, I'm like, you know what, some of them rounds were like kind of close, and there's a chance that a lot of people had Jeff Horn winning. And it's weird to me, you look at 8 judges scored this fight, and this is what I tweeted the day of the fight. And I tweeted this, somehow, some way, and I respect the man, Teddy Atlas, I really like Teddy Atlas, but somehow, some way, he gave Pacquiao round 6. And I told you, I'm like, to me, Pacquiao was hurt in that round. So, and he buckled, and Jeff Horn hit him with multiple rights. A right, I believe, is what set up and staggered Pacquiao. Then he hit him with another right, and he hit him with a vicious uppercut in against the ropes. When Pacquiao's back was against the ropes, Pacquiao don't have no head movement. And the thing with me is, I thought that was a clear Jeff Horn, just like round 9 was a clear Pacquiao round. I thought that was a clear round for Jeff Horn, but somehow, some way, Teddy Atlas gave that round to Pacquiao. And I don't see, I think those 3 punches alone were so impactful that they trumped anything Pacquiao did in that round. He might have landed some good combinations, but he didn't hurt Jeff Horn in that particular round. And actually, he didn't really even hurt Jeff Horn up until the 9th round, where it was visible. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It really just depends on how people score it. But if people like Teddy Atlas, who I respect, and I think he knows a lot, if he somehow, some way gave Pacquiao round 6, then you can tell some of them other close rounds, like the first 3, who knows, people could have liked one way. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You can't be like, no, absolutely my way is, well, in close rounds, that's what it is. Just like people were screaming, and it's so funny because a lot of people who are angry with the Pacquiao fight, they're never this animated when it comes to other people that we know they don't like Andre Ward versus Kovalev. That was just a robbery too, you know what I mean? And you didn't want to see it. Like, it's inconceivable to you that Andre Ward could have beat Kovalev. But if you're a diehard Pacquiao fan, oh yes, he was robbed, and you're not willing to see Jeff Horn's side. So to me, this whole thing was stupid to rescore it. Okay, they rescored it with 5 judges, and guess what? It still sticks. And Pacquiao, ultimately, I'm going to keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying this. Pacquiao, between motioning to become a senator and probably having less time, between that, his style naturally not being a style that has longevity in the sport because he makes a lot of mistakes, and I've always told you that, and that's okay. A lot of guys make mistakes, but Golovkin makes mistakes. To me, I think he lacks head movement. He doesn't have a crazy defense. I've never seen him fight off the ropes or off the back foot and do that for large chunks of the fight. Maybe because no one's been able to muscle him around, but there's certain deficiencies I see, and it's okay because you still have to get through what that person does well. And to me, Pacquiao, I told you, he's not a smart fighter. You can say he's smart because of what he's done with his career or something, but he's not a smart, meaning fundamentally smart. He doesn't do smart things. And to me, you have to cast the blame on Pacquiao with this one because, first of all, we shouldn't even be arguing with all the top level quality names. Listen to me. Quality names, elite level names that are currently in the welterweight division. We shouldn't be arguing on if Pacquiao beat Jeff Horn. because this was a guy with 60 plus fights versus a guy with like 15 fights, and the fight shouldn't have happened no ways. So that's, for starters, you have to blame Pacquiao and his team for even taking this fight. You gave Jeff Horn, a guy nobody was really checking for, a guy nobody was really talking about in the welterweight division in the grand scheme of things, who happened to be ranked somewhere in the WBO. You gave him the platform, and you allowed him to steal your shine by being in a competitive fight. That's what it is. Just like I used this example before. Robert Guerrero put Kamagai on. I had never heard of Kamagai. You know what I mean? Maybe he's like Prince over there in Japan, but I never heard of him in America. And guess what? That war with Robert Guerrero, even though he lost it, people were like, oh, that Kamagai gave Robert Guerrero a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, Kamagai's still getting fights. He got back-to-back Golden Boy, Jesus Soto Kara's wars, and then now he's fighting Cotto for a title. Robert Guerrero really put him on, because who had been checking for Kamagai before that? So certain performances, you do good enough, whether you win or lose, people start checking for you. Like, man, I like this dude. You know what I mean? This dude, like, there's plenty of people, even if they lose, like Jose Uzcata guy. I hadn't really seen too much of him. I seen him fight Julian Jackson's son, but I hadn't seen too much of him. But that Andre Dirrell fight, I'm gonna be checking for him. He could scrap. And same thing with Jeff Horn. Now, okay, I didn't really know too much about him, but I'm checking for him now. So Pacquiao created a star, whether you thought he won or not. And again, not being a smart fighter, he made the fight more difficult. I think he totally underestimated Jeff Horn's durability. He underestimated his skill and his awkwardness. Realistically, what I seen Jeff Horn doing was shit Pacquiao does. It just didn't look as athletic. It looked kind of sloppy and kind of dirty, because he's not as quick as Pacquiao overall, but he's herky-jerky. He was kind of coming in and using some movement, upper body, and a little bit of head movement and stuff like that. So realistically, I'm going to keep saying this. All this rescoring and stuff. It's funny how when other fighters lose, there's no big congregation and please rescore it. You know what I mean? I guarantee you, if Kovalev beat Ward in the first fight, those same people who wanted this fight rescored and all this, they wouldn't have been saying that. Like, oh, you need to redo this for Andre Ward. And to me, y'all can say whatever you want, but to me, Andre Ward looked better versus Kovalev in the first fight than Pacquiao looked versus Jeff Horn. Reason being is Ward was a guy with minimal fights at light heavyweight going against the light heavyweight champion, who we know is most likely stronger in terms of physical punching power than Andre Ward. So even though he got knocked down, he was supposed to have a tough fight because he was recently added to the division and he was fighting a champion. That's not the same with Pacquiao. Pacquiao is the guy with the 60 plus fights who's been in there with Mayweather and Marquez and Bradley 3 times, Eric Morales, Oscar De La Hoya. He's been in there with legends. Jeff Horn hasn't. And Pacquiao was the champion. So one, the fight should have never happened to begin with. You know what I mean? Because if you would have lost in the same fashion to Terrence Crawford, it wouldn't have been that shocking. Because people are like, okay, Pacquiao held his own against Crawford. We know how good Crawford is. Maybe he had the youth on his side and it's his time now. If you would have lost to Errol Spence Jr., Keith Thurman the same way, it wouldn't have been that big deal because we know them guys. Jeff Horn is so shocking because it's like this guy came out of nowhere. So shout out to Jeff Horn. I got to watch the fight again. Maybe I'll rescore it if I have time, but I had Pacquiao winning the first time, but he made a lot of mistakes in there. And like I said, I think the biggest thing is he underestimated Jeff Horn's ability. So nothing happened. They rescored it and the ruling sits. And like I said, it's just like NFL football. They're not going to take that belt away from Jeff Horn off of that. You know what I mean? They didn't do that to Carl Froch versus George Groves. I thought that was a bullshit premature stoppage in the first fight. So, I mean, Pacquiao, he should have cleaned up his game. See, that's what I'm saying. Instead of making adjustments post-fight and having it rescored, you make those adjustments in the fight. And Pacquiao just doesn't make the same adjustments. I told you, he's not really a smart fighter. He does what he does, and usually that works. And when it doesn't, this is what happens. Same thing with Mayweather Pacquiao. Obviously, that fight wasn't as action-packed because the two styles, but they had enough action. And like I said, Pacquiao doesn't know how to make those major adjustments from somebody who has a great working game plan. and that's just what it is. That's how I seen it. But the WBO sided with Jeff Horn, and still WBO champion. Let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video. Like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.